What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's about time we get working on this cat again. It's been a while. Part 8 was probably at least 9 months ago. It's been some time, but for those of you who don't know, because you're only watching the cat videos, we moved. It's pretty obvious. We're in a different shop now. Very incomplete. We have no insulation, no electricity, but it's a work in progress. When we got here, this building was gravel floor, the posts were rotting, it wasn't stable. Well, now it's at least a usable workshop. My toolbox is finally here from our old house, and I think it's time we just get down to it. So stay tuned.
Alright everybody, so we're going to try something new with the mechanic series videos going forward, and I'm going to try doing a voiceover here. I know I don't have the best microphone, but hopefully this will address some of the comments in the past about the audio being too quiet, and I can maybe react a little bit better to what's going on in the video. So today we're just doing a lot of paint scraping. Right here we're doing some gasket scraping, because surprisingly some of those were still on the block at this point. And generally just going through and getting it cleaned up and ready for paint. So I'm using a bunch of wire wheels here on cordless tools. I like those better than the pneumatics. But just trying to get all the paint off the block, and then I'll go back through and get it good and clean when we're ready to paint. I was going to go through here and clean out the water jackets and the water passages on this block, but after I got the cylinders out last fall, they were very clean inside. There's almost no scale. There's still coating on the inside of the block and almost no buildup at all. In fact, the only spot there was a little bit of buildup was in the channel for the drain plug, which is normally plugged off anyway, so not a huge deal there. As I think I've mentioned in previous videos, this block is in fantastic shape, and that's gonna come into play at the end of the video. There's a little bit of a surprise I wasn't expecting. Again, just more wire wheels. Using the finer wheels, they seem to get into the cast iron a little bit better, and just trying to get the dirt and the grime off too. There's a lot of baked on grease on this thing. And then finally here we went down to the tiny little Dremel wheel to try and pick some of the paint out of the lettering, get it all good and clean and ready to go. So let me know if you like this voiceover. I can keep doing it. If you think it makes the videos worse, I'll go back to doing it the way I had been doing it.
Well guys, I know it wasn't much, just scraping some paint and generally taking a look at the condition that this block is in. But it's good to be back working on it. I've been waiting, and it's been close to a year now since I did anything on this. So next things is we're going to be getting ready to get this into sub-assembly pretty much before we paint it. I know last year I was going to paint it first, but I changed my mind. I'm going to get some of the front and back covers on, pretty much anything that won't get in the way with paint. Like last time this thing got painted, you could tell they didn't take the ejection pump off, and in here was just paint on top of old grease and dirt, and it didn't stick very well, obviously. So, but before we go, there is one more elephant in the room to talk about, and that's something I noticed when I was scrubbing down here. So this whole time we've been working on, I know I made mention of it before, is that this block is in great shape. The deck's still flat. It's not cracked between cylinders at all. The water jackets are clean and clear. The channels between the jackets are wide open. People have even commented on the older videos that this looks like a really low hour machine. So after watching a lot of other Caterpillar videos on YouTube and flipping through forums, I was starting to get suspicious of the condition of this block. Because yes, the serial number tags of the machine and the block do match. Yes, this was clearly a first-year machine based on a lot of the major parts on it, but it had been gone through. We knew that for sure based on other parts on it. Work had definitely been done to it before. It had been torn down. Some of the work made me wonder why, like when the cylinders being all corroded out. To go that far and not replace the cylinders really had me guessing. But my suspicions were finally confirmed as I was scraping the paint. So if we come down here, we can see that on the stamping of the serial number on this block, we have 5J2432. So obviously, this is not the original block like I thought, hoped for this whole time. Like I said, I've been getting kind of suspicious lately. This is a later model block that somebody put on the D2, probably because the original one was in more of the shape I was expecting it to be in, and put the 505 tag on it. And there's a lot of debate I've heard from other old tractor owners of whether that's being dishonest, counterfeiting, keeping it original because the block is just one part of the tractor. It happens to be the part that has the serial number on it. You could argue for days and days, but the bottom line for me is it did lose a little bit of cool factor because I know that this is not the original block. It was replaced at some time. How long ago? Who knows? I'm going to guess in the early 90s, which is when I believe it was rebuilt last. Now for me, I don't have the tag that came with this block. I know some people have talked about replacing the tag. Some people have talked about putting both tags on it. This is the only tag I got, so it's gonna stick with it. But somebody asked me, I'm gonna be honest about it. Why lie? It is still a cool old tractor at the end of the day, and by the time we get done with it, it's at least gonna look like it did in 1938. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's good to be back working on this. There's gonna be more videos coming unless it gets really cold out, because like I said, we don't have heater insulation in here yet, but we didn't have heat insulation last year and that didn't stop me. So at least something's gonna get done. There's a lot of machine shop work we gotta do yet, and there's no machine tools in here yet, so we're gonna be doing it at a different shop that does have heat and a lathe. See you next time, guys.